Hello, guys. So if you can log back in, we got caught up. Not sure what happened there. Last time I worked outside, there was no issues, but today seems to be hectic. But I think this line is good. We are not going to get caught out. So if you were in the live, please log back in, and we'll start quickly. It's going to be a good time. Yes. But this live is going to be a short live. We'll go quickly. We're not going to take much of your time so we can get there quickly. Hi, everyone. Hi for being there. So please share this link instead. The first one got cut out. I'm not sure if there was something bad that we said. We got cut out of YouTube, but it's okay. We're starting over again. Thank you for liking. Thank you for being here. I'm going to start quickly because I already introduced most of part of the show up there. So are we able to work together? And if we are, in what conditions? I'm going to start with a good story. When I got to Canada, I came here as a student, and I started working 4 years later. And I need my glasses, definitely. Woo! Don't worry, guys. I'm not gonna sing. I know earlier it was a great impression, but I'm not gonna sing. So I was there, and then in a company, I got hired by this financial company. And while I was there, the people I hang out with were from different racial background, right? And I was having fun. And then I always realized that the people who were born here who look like me, have the same story. I would say, people who are from my origin, black people, whether they were Caribbean or African, never really. They usually look at me and say, "Okay, you guys, you William, you seem not to get what's going on. Huh? What are you talking about?" I say, "I see you, being friendly with everyone." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's in Canada. That's there is no separation. Like, I don't see I can hang out with anyone I want to, like having fun." And then there was a situation where there was my manager at the time was from African descent, right? She was not she was black, and then another manager was not. And then he came to say, like, he was talking, he was joking. Personally, I started laughing. It was a funny joke. And then she came to me and she said, "Why are you always in agreement with what this guy says?" For me, I'm not in agreement. I just laughed at the joke. I didn't know there was an inside story where both of them were. They had a personal issue. Maybe it was work related. Maybe it wasn't, but they actually they were not in agreement with everything. They were not happy with each other. And every time he was joking, it was just to let people know that he's a fun guy, right? But she just told me that this guy is not to be trusted. And I said, "What do you mean?" And she said, "Oh, these people." That was the first time anyone ever came to me and talked to other people like that and said, "These people." And in a way, she was trying to let me know that you need to know who you hang out with. You need to know who you talk to. You need to know who you share your secret with, right? She was also talking to me as though, because I am an immigrant, I'm African. Maybe I don't understand what's going on in Canada. Um, Whether that matter or not, that was not my point of view. I didn't, it's one thing to be united, I think, against an idea, and then it's another thing to choose a side just because of your skin color. I think there's a big divide there. So in that case, there was a choice of which team you're going to work with. You don't want to go with someone that looked like me, or go with someone that I could work with and be paid and not worry about if being in the office mattered just because of what I look like or not. So sometimes this is what we're facing. Most people are talking about racism and all of that, but there's also other elements, right, that are at play. Being of a minority in a country in a monopole, in a metropolis like Toronto, the GTA matters, right? Because like if I'm the only African in a room, whatever happens to me, how I react to anything or how I act represents the continent. Even though I don't represent the continent, whatever I do, people assumes that it should represent the continent. So I shouldn't mess up or fess up or fuss. So my question is, when we're working together, when you're with someone, what do you consider working together well is? Are we able to work together? And if we are, in what are the conditions? So hello guys, I'll let you share this link, and I'll let you share this live because we need more people to join and trying to understand, to talk about this subject. If it is possible for us to work with one another, and for how long? Do we like working together? Are we even able to work together? I hear some people who say it's impossible. Myself, when I worked in the events industry, where we were just selling tickets, promoting events, opening doors and closing doors. I got backstabbed, and I backstabbed people. Sometimes I was late. Because I was late, the show was late and people were mad at me. um and then once people say don't work with black people because they would tarnish your business, I understand what they mean, but is that true? Is it utopian to say it's not possible it is possible to work with black people? Is it possibility for all black people to have to think around the same idea, to have the same vision, or is it not realistic? What is it to you, right? For me, it could be a small community. I don't think I'm the savior of an entire nation. I think I can do my part to build that nation, but I don't think I'm going to be the light that carries the person that carries the light. So that's why I think it matters to talk about it. It matters to be part of it. And I want to see you in the comments. I see you guys coming up, but I don't see you guys liking this enough. So is it because you think it's not possible to work together? I want to see more likes if you think it's possible for us to work together. Because if there's no likes, it means it's not possible. When I hear a lot of optimistic talks after a reaction, so after the death of a person of a minority community, that dies at the hand of someone who's not of the community, that's when we all wake up and say, we should fight with black people, we should fight for us. But when nothing happens, then what do you do, right? Do you wait to react, or do you want to act today? What's your experience with your employees that are of the community? What are your experience with your partners that are of the community? All of that matters, to talk about. All of that matters to have. You have to have your say. You cannot just hang back and think, oh no, this is going to be figured out. I know some people who just decide not to deal with the community at all. They don't want to see. It's like when you say Africa, they're like, oh man, that's hell. Anything that comes from there is not going to work. Is not going to be positive. There's nothing positive that can be that can grow from there. But other people are there in Africa. But how come we don't? Kukla said it's hard if even our own judges us based on their previous bad experience. Yeah, prejudice. I think prejudice is one thing. I have those. I don't think it's hard for me. And that's a question. Let's say when you have customers that come to your store, if they look like you, do you treat them as a client, based on do you treat them because you know where they come from, or do you treat just as any other client, right? Are you more lenient, or are you harder? If you have to make a loan, let's say you give money, you lend money to someone, uh, you give a loan to someone that looks like you, what are you on the defensive and say, okay, I'm not sure this person is gonna pay it back, or do you give it away to anyone regardless? I think Kukla has a point. People judge us because of what of our past experiences, and that affects everyone. Like my experience with soccer is a good experience. When I play honestly when I play football, and I play with m- anyone. Like I play with anyone that is not from a community. It feels like I'm the best soccer player. I feel like I could play any on any field. Like I pass the ball. The ball is always shared around beautifully on the court. People are from every descent, like Latinos, Europeans, Asians, Africans. We're good, but when we play together, it's like if we don't win that game, someone is not going to be happy. It's like you play a death match, honestly. Like and that's but sometimes you play well. Like if you play together for a long time, it doesn't feel as it's not it doesn't feel the same. But is it because other people are better, or is it just because we are different and we have to embrace our diversity? What do you think? Well, I say I treat them just as professionally, but if there is a misunderstanding, I'm not even given the benefit of the doubt. They just jump to the conclusions. Yeah, people will jump to the conclusion. Let's say if if I PM and 3 o'clock, that's do you say that's how they behave? They never they always say they'll call but they never call. Or do you say, okay, I'll give him until 3:15. He's allowed to be late like anyone else. Something may happen, and then they call you at 4 p.m. What do you say when they call you late? When you organize a party, like if people say that they don't think about bad experiences, when you organize a party and you put the party will start at 6 p.m., do you believe that people will show up at 6 p.m.? Because when we talk about business, we're going too far. Just simple things. If your doctor is looks like you and then he says he's going to deliver your baby, do you think he's going to deliver your baby the same way that a Canadian doctor or an American doctor or a French doctor would do it? Are you influenced by what they look like? I heard some people who say, "Oh, if you go to the hospital here, they don't treat you alike. They don't treat you the same way because when you're black, they let you suffer. Let's say if you're in labor as a black woman, they don't want to inject you with epidural. In Canada, it's different because Canada has a very different rule. But I heard about that in England. When you're pregnant, they say that black women cry more and ask for the easy way, like to be injected with epidural faster than other people. So they let some people die or they let people suffer. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what I read. But at the same time, we have people who die back home. They don't even make it to the hospital bed because they don't have money, right? Um, or they don't have enough bed to lie you on so that you can deliver. So you can accuse other people, but there's also the same thing happening home. W- And then we can say it's because people don't know if they don't know how to treat us. But do you think if ever we treated ourselves with respect and not prejudice, do you think other people could mess with us? It's a question. I don't really know. This subject is really it's always interesting when it comes to working with other people that look like us. I'm a very happy-go-lucky person. I jump on it. Like I work with anyone. I don't really care. I always ask, "Do you know how to do this?" I give you the first chance. You can't, I move on. But when I don't have time, I go to someone who's able to do it. Right. Most of the people who help. Country lifestyle is a teamwork. It's not just me. It's not just I. There's so many people who are working behind scenes to make this happen. at 1 p.m. every weekend, right? So, and they all look like me, and they are from different countries in the Caribbean and Africa. Um, People will review this channel, so I think it's possible. It just depends on how you trust people. So Kukla is very popular today. She says, it seems we need to build a trust relationship first. Oh, okay, just as I was saying, before we work together. Whereas with others, trust can be built along the way. That's true. I think we just need to understand who are Africans. Africans are just different. Africans just, I mean, we our wavelength is different. The way we breathe, the way we behave with people are different. The world we live in has rules. Like, let's say I live in Canada, I go to work, there are certain codes, there are certain rules that I follow, and it makes sense, and that's what you abide by. But if I work with someone who's African, I know how they vibrate. The wavelength is different. And I think I hear some people say, I'll be professional. But what does professional mean? Professionalism to other people means we have to, in order to work with you, we have to be part of the same organization. You want to talk about professionalism? Unions in Canada are based on members who are not Canadians. Like, it's already decided that Italians will come and build the roads. The roofers, I think they are they are not Russian, but they are Slavic descent. Portuguese are border makers, right? A lot of Portuguese do melting. They work in plants. So most of them don't speak English or have the culture, Canadian culture, but they come here and then they work together to make that union stand and be strong. That's how Irish people came to America. Same thing in Canada. So how are we going to work together to have a union and make sure that we own our business? I don't want to do the same thing as them, because they had a vision. We can have ours. In that, I believe we can work together. But how? On that note, I'll let you guys go. It was a pleasure having you. It's Country Lifestyle. We'll have the same debate in French next week, Saturday, the 17th, I believe, at 1 p.m. It will be in French. Have a wonderful Sunday. It was Country Lifestyle. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if you think it's going to help people. I'm going to enjoy the sun. Get some more melanin in me so that I have no disease that's going to attack me past 40. Peace out.